Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing today? Oh, come on, guys. Give me a little something back. How are we doing today? Thank you. There we go. Denise in the front. You can lead the Mexican wave. There we go. I love that. It's day 3 of the Marketing 2.0 conference. I hope you had a lovely evening and have been enjoying a little bit of Dubai and what we do have to offer. And on behalf of all the organizers, welcome to you all again. We're going to begin our first session of the final day of the conference. And once again, let's keep the hashtags rolling for anything that you might be posting on social media. So it's hashtag marketing2conf throughout the day. That would be great. So highlighting the marketing domains that will reign supreme in the near future. Our speaker's going to equip you with foolproof marketing strategies that have the potential to bring great returns. Please welcome Badis Suisi. He's the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Kiranis Digital Services and Chief Digital Officer and co-founder of Axitri. And he's going to be talking to you about focusing on lucrative marketing domains for the future with revolutionary marketing tactics.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So I'll be trying to add as much value as I can for you guys today. So we're all marketers, basically. So maybe I won't be teaching you some new stuff or some new strategies maybe for you, but I'll try to do my best to try to explain how we're doing this at my agency and how we're trying to mix the strategies and the tools that we use to get the most out of it. So as mentioned, I'll be talking about lucrative marketing domains for the future with the revolutionary marketing tactics. So I'll be dividing my presentations into 2 parts. So when we speak about marketing, so every one of us has his own definition of marketing, has his own vision, I would say. So we have many words, many pieces of the puzzle that can construct or that can contribute to our marketing strategies, to our product strategies, to our branding, to our promotions and everything that goes like that. So I'll be trying to put a little of these pieces together to make sense, to have a strategy at the end, to be able to provide value, to help others, to get more clients, I hope, for you, more leads, etc. So all of that. Yeah, so what we will cover today, so I'll be starting by introducing myself, my company and all that stuff. Then I'll be looking to explain what are the lucrative marketing domains, what does lucrative marketing domains mean, and then I'll be talking about some tactics and strategies for you guys to implement and to use in your own strategies and at your business level. Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank my design team. So they've done this presentation for me, so thank them very much. So I go by the name of Badis Suisi. I come from Tunisia. So previously I co-founded 2 digital agencies. So I've had quite the experience with the entrepreneurship domain, I would say, field. So I've been the co-founder and digital consultant of CSE, which stands for Connected Solutions for Everything. So this was during my last year of college. After that, I worked a little bit as a freelancer. Then another opportunity presented itself, so I co-founded another company, but that did not go well too. And then I worked a little bit as a coach and team supervisor at a call center, and then I started all over again and launched other businesses, etc. So currently, previously I graduated as an applied computing engineer. Currently I'm an entrepreneur, digital consultant. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Kiranis Digital Agency. I'm also the co-founder and digital consultant at another technological company called Axitri. I'm a professional singer too, yeah. I do this and that, so I sing and I work as an entrepreneur. And I'm also an MBA student, so I'm taking classes in the evening classes. So I'm a forever learner. I'm an MBA student. I try to learn new stuff every day from everyone. Even here at the Marketing 2.0 conference, I've been learning new stuff from keynotes, from panel discussions, from other discussions that I had with other fellow entrepreneurs and investors and all that. So this is basically what we do. So at Axi3 and at Kearney's Digital Services, so I mixed all the stuff together. So maybe we can talk about this later. This is not really important for now. Yeah, so for marketing, as I told you at the start of the presentation, so maybe each one of us has his own definition of marketing. So we don't have the same vision about marketing or the same approach, I would say. So maybe these 4 things that we have in common for marketing, maybe these represent marketing for everyone, for every and each one of us. So we have to analyze, we have to know which is the right target for us, which is the right market for us, and then we have to create a strategy to help that right target enter that right market, and then analyze what we have acquired as data or as ROI, and try to improve it with the same strategies that we built or with other strategies to improve what we already created. So there's an old saying that goes that if you want to become a guru or a master of something, you need to master the basics. So I went a little back to talk to you about some of the marketing basics, so like the marketing mix, so the 4 Ps. I guess everyone is familiar with the 4 Ps. I don't know if there's anyone that does not know what the 4 Ps are. I guess everyone knows what they are. Okay, so these are the pillars of the marketing domain, the marketing field that been put into action, that have been used and implemented since maybe the start of humanity. So there's the product, the price, the place, and the promotion. So this is like really old stuff. So this is not some new terms, some new techniques, or some new explanations on marketing strategies, etc. So each and every one of us has a product or has products and services to promote. So they create that product or service, they make a price for it, or they attach a price to it, and then they start looking for a place to promote that product or service via promotions, advertising, all of that, etc. So this is just a quick reminder for you. So this marketing mix, as I mentioned, was really old. So with the technology, with the marketing going forward each day, every day, etc. So it wasn't efficient anymore. So change needed to be change needed to happen, and this marketing mix needed to adapt to what's happening, to the world that is evolving, etc., etc. So like this light bulb, so we changed it with a new one. We changed it with an economic one and a new one, so with new technology and with all that stuff. So the marketing mix, so it was like 4 Ps, but it evolved into 7 Ps. So this is what I've been looking at for the last couple of years. So I'm trying to implement these 7 Ps. So there are the 4 pillars that I've already mentioned, so kept their places, but 3 other pillars appeared. So there's the product, the price, the place, and the promotion. But now we are more focused on people. So people here represent the teams that are working with you, the customer service, the development team, all that, etc. Of course, if you need to work, or if you want to your marketing mix or your marketing strategy to work, you need to put a process in place. So you need to apply strategies, techniques, all of that, etc., via a really, really, really tight and precise process. So you need to follow that process. You need to work on your process until you get the right process, I would say. So if that process works for you, you need to implement it again and again, and try to improve it, and try to apply that process or those techniques and those tactics to whatever market you're targeting. And of course, last but not least, so we have physical evidence. So there always needs to be evidence of maybe your last work, results that you presented to other clients, all that stuff. So that will be really powerful, so like powerful arguments for you when discussing or when promoting your services to other people, or when promoting yourself or your personal brand and everything. So you need to have something to show to those people, because maybe like here in Marketing 2.0 conference, so people don't know each other. They're gonna ask you, what did you do? How did you help these people? How did you help that company, that person, that brand, etc.? So you need to have physical evidence of what you did. So you need to have a log, I would say, of what you did previously, how you helped other people previously, what did you provide, which value did you provide to them, etc. So this is the new marketing mix that's being implemented around the world. Okay. This mix maybe was new for updated. So we had an update from 4Ps to 7Ps, but that was not enough. So for the marketing world that's already evolving, that's going really fast with all the technology that's emerging and all that stuff. So there was no chance that only these 7 pillars would contribute in a marketing strategy. So we needed to have other factors, other pillars that need to be integrated in the equation to have a really strong strategy and to really strong marketing mix, and to start building a brand or start working for other businesses to try to improve them, to improve their services, etc. So the team quoted, I think it's from a song, so White Stripes, I guess, so, or Eurythmics, I guess, so Travel the World in the 7 Seas, I guess it's Sweet Dreams, yeah? Yeah, thank you for my team for that. So travel the world in the 7 Seas, so it means that all around the world, these 7 Cs can be implemented, so they can be used to, all around the world, so they're not limited to a geographical area or to someone and not the other. So this is how the 7 Ps evolved into the 7 Cs. So now the marketing mix contains the 7 Cs, which are customer, cost, convenience, communication, customer service, connection, and credibility. So it's basically like the 7 Ps, but in new terms, in terms that are congruent with what's happening in marketing. So for example, for team or for people, now we have customer services. So it's one of the pillars, one of the most important pillars, I would say, of a business. So you need to always follow up with your client. You need to always be present. You need to always provide help. You need to always provide customer help, etc. So you need to always be available to help as much as you can, even after delivering the project or delivering the service and all of that. Of course, there's the connection too. So you need to create connection. You need to create some loyalty, some connection between your brand and between your brand and your clients, your leads, all of that, etc. And as I mentioned, for physical evidence, so you need to have credibility. You need to be credible for other people to believe in you, to work with you, to ask you for your services and all of that stuff. So this is how the world is working today. I guess these are maybe some examples of the 7 Cs, but each one of us can add another C or 2 or 3 or maybe more than that. So we can add creativity, we can add many other pillars. So this is just to show you the importance of these basics, I would say, so in the marketing mix strategies. So all this will contribute or will lead us to the lucrative marketing domains. So these marketing domains we have 4 major marketing domains. So I'll be starting with the business marketing domain. So we have the B2B and the B2C, so business to business or business to client. And the other way around is C2B and C2C. So to explain these, maybe for those who have never heard of them or they don't know what are C2B and C2C. So C2B is consumers communicating with companies, so it's the other way around. So via the company website, maybe via a form on the company website, they're going to explain their needs, they're going to explain their feedback on the product or the service, all of that, and even sending emails or sending maybe notifications or messages via applications. So if a company has its own application, so it has maybe a request or a form that allows people to communicate with it, so to send messages, to express their feedback, etc., all of that. And concerning the C2C, so it's communication between clients. So when posting on blogs or when clients reach to each other, all of that. So it's C2C marketing, so between clients without the intervention of the business at any level. So these are the four marketing domains, so the B2B, the B2C, the C2B, and the C2C. So I'll be talking about the marketing tactics and strategies. I'll be mainly talking about the digital marketing tactics and strategies from our point of view as a digital agency and as a development agency. So there's a saying of Bill Gates, so quote by Bill Gates that says that content is king. So each and every one of us needs to focus its efforts, so the efforts of your agencies, of your creative teams and all of that on content. So the tools for this, so I'll be presenting all the tools possible to implement good content and all of that stuff. So these are the classic marketing tools, so print, TV, radio, billboards, conferences, etc., all of that. And what do we mean by strategy? So I'm gonna explain both of these. So strategy contains marketing plans, digital marketing plans, content strategies, data, audits, analytics, all of that stuff. So to create a strategy, we need to have plans and we need to have goals. So we need to plan for that strategy to work, and we need to have goals, so to attend or to go to, so objectives or goals. So these are some tools concerning the web or the mobile. So we have websites, blogs, e-commerce stores, web apps, mobile apps, all of that, Wi-Fi marketing, forums, webinars, etc. So all of that stuff. So, and we have social media, we have instant messaging, we have podcasts, we have videos. So all these are content platforms and content tools that we use to market ourselves. Maybe if you're running a personal brand or something, or if you're running a business or businesses. So these are the tools that you will implement for your strategy, for your clients maybe, and for your growth, etc. So I'll be detailing maybe 3 of the tools that I mentioned here. So I'll be talking about Facebook, Instagram first. So Facebook and Instagram are really adapting some new algorithms, some new strategies, etc. So free organic traffic won't work anymore on Facebook. So you always have to go for paid advertising. You need to spend more money on your ads. You need to spend more times creating valuable ads. You need to spend more times creating valuable content for your clients. So Facebook and Instagram, they tend always to keep their clients on the platform, so they tend to create more content for you to watch, to keep you on their platform, to spend more time, to run more ads for you. So more ads served means more money for them. So to be able to use the power of the algorithm, or to use the algorithms for your own benefits, to benefit at a maximum level from the algorithm of Facebook, you need to always use the latest features, so like the Reels for Facebook now, so they had that for Instagram, and now they're implementing that for Facebook. You need to use the retargeting and remarketing strategies and all that stuff, and also, so for the conversion part, so you need to create more video content, so video converts better than images, so it's like, the numbers say it's like 50%, 60%, and even more than that in terms of engagement. I'll be talking about SEO too, so we're running this at our agency level. So for SEO, we're talking mainly Google, so we use Google. We don't use Bing or any other search engines, so we mainly focus on Google. So we have a whole SEO team, so working on trying to stay up to date with the algorithms, with the Google guidelines, and all that stuff. So you should have this too. So you should work on your SEO, on your visibility on the internet, on your website, etc., and all of that. So some numbers concerning SEO. So Google does between 8 and 9 algorithm updates per day. So that's like thousands a year. You need to have your security, you need to have your website secure, your application secure, your server secure, etc., and all of that. And also you need to focus on content quality. So as I mentioned, so content is king, so you need to focus on your content quality, on the designs, on the interfaces, the content, the relevance, etc. You need to have valid backlinks. You need to keep an eye on user experience, so collect feedback, all of that, collect data and all of that. And also, as I mentioned, you need to respect the Google guidelines. I'll be talking about YouTube too. So YouTube is the second biggest search engine, just next to Google. So it's a Google product, or it's a Google platform, and it's just after Google in terms of the reach and the grandeur, I would say, of its search engine. So it's ideal for businesses, for personal brands, etc., and all of that. So I've tried YouTube myself. So YouTube removes the fear of camera. So when you start filming yourself, you start updating and uploading content and all of that stuff. So you start having more confidence in yourself. You start knowing how to speak and how to talk to people, how to provide value for people, all of that stuff. So mainly the algorithms of of YouTube, are based on likes, on shares, on number of views, and all of that stuff. So this will make your channel or your presence on YouTube really, really powerful. I'll be talking about the new trends. So I've just taken a few examples. So we don't have much time to speak about all the tools available out there, but you got the idea. So I'll be talking about the new trends in the marketing area, in the marketing field. So there are some new technological trends. So there's artificial intelligence, machine learning, automation, predictive marketing, big data, chatbots, AR, VR, all of that stuff. So it's getting integrated to marketing. So we cannot separate these new trends from marketing. You need to integrate at least one, maybe of them, in your marketing strategy. You need to use these tools because they are powerful tools. They can help you reduce time, reduce calculations, reduce maybe even the number of people working on certain projects, etc. So you can have teams just getting help from AI or from machines, etc., and all of that, and focusing on the main work, I would say, and leaving the other work to machines and all of that stuff. So I have a couple of recommendations before we get to some questions maybe. So we always need to build some marketing assets. So that's by building trust and establishing authority. So we always need to create a good connection or a strong connection between us as marketers or as business owners and all of that stuff with our clients, with our potential clients too. So we need to establish ourselves as experts, as gurus, as people that are confident, people that know what they're doing, etc. So they provide value to people. So we need to build trust with them and all of that. We need to create value. We need to help them and keep this in mind. So this is really powerful. So you always need to move people to a place where you can control. You're in control. So not Facebook, not Instagram, not any platform. So you need something that's yours. So either a website, an email list, an event list, SMS list, you name it. So anything that you have full control on it. So don't leave people just hanging around on Facebook or YouTube or anything. So try to redirect them to your own website, to your own place, to your own as I told you, so to your own marketing domain, I would say. So try to always update your techniques, your strategies. Try to adapt and follow trends. So try to adapt to new techniques. Try to learn about new techniques, about trends and all of that stuff. And also favor quality over quantity. So try to always deliver good quality service, get good feedback from people. So get maybe user-generated content from them to promote yourself and all that stuff. Try to be persistent. So don't just maybe post once a year or twice a year and look for results and all that stuff. So you need to be persistent, you need to be consistent with what you're publishing and all of that stuff. Try to stay away from shortcuts and hacks, because we always face these headlines, I would say. So this is a shortcut to do this. This is a hack to maybe to outdate or to outperform a Google algorithm or a YouTube algorithm or something like that. So try to stay away from those. So try to be persistent, to work as a long-term strategy, on a long-term strategy. Try to mix the tools together, so the tools that I've presented, so try to mix them together to create your own strategy. So maybe the strategy that works for me won't work for you. Maybe the tools that I'm using for my market share or for my targeted audience won't work for all of you. So try to test what works for you. So test what are the best tools that are giving you the best ROIs. Try to mix them together to create your own strategies, and try to always use all the algorithms to your advantage. So try to use Google, Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff, so to your own advantage. Don't let them use you to their advantage. So this is a question maybe for any one of you. So if you have maybe a marketing strategy in place, or you have maybe something that's already running, so a process that's already running, maybe we can discuss this afterwards. And yeah, I guess we have a couple of minutes for some Q&A. So if any one of you has something to ask me, I'll be really, really happy to answer. I tried to go really fast just to keep some time for this, yeah.
I'll ask you something.
Yeah.
To get the ball rolling. You said about keeping strategies and everything fresh for social media. So what are your main tips for keeping up to date? Because we know the dreaded algorithms and everything change all the time. So how do we stay ahead of all of that?
Staying ahead will be really, really hard, because they're always ahead of us. So yeah, we need to adapt. We need, like I mentioned in one of the slides. So Facebook integrated Reels, just like Instagram did, and there's a powerful thing in those in the Facebook and Instagram algorithms that favors the new features. So you always need to use the new features. So try to always use what's new. Try to always adapt to what's new, what's being added recently. So try to use Reels, maybe mix some Reels with some short videos, some long videos, all that stuff. Try to always use the latest features, I would say, on social media.
I feel like the social media platforms are very convoluted at the moment. TikTok's now introduced stories, and TikTok is now going to introduce 10-minute videos. So we've now got TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all doing exactly the same thing. So how do you pick which one should be best for you?
Yeah, as I mentioned, it depends on what's the target market. So if it's people maybe between 20 and 35, maybe TikTok is better. Maybe if it's older people, maybe YouTube is better. You need to test these things. So it depends on what's the market, so what's the targeted market, and it depends on the nature of the business too. So maybe if it's a fashion brand, maybe Instagram is the best platform. Maybe if it's a coaching business, maybe YouTube is the better platform, etc. So you need to test that. You need to mix the tools together and try to collect as much data as you can. So views, maybe to connect the KPIs that you can. So as much KPIs as you can. Analyze those and try to create your own strategy depending on those KPIs, and always try to test new stuff. Try to integrate new stuff in your marketing strategies and add more tools maybe each time, and try to test those new tools compared to the old ones. Yeah.
It's become a lot harder, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Anyone from the audience want to ask anything? Denise, thank you.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me? Yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Badis, for the presentation.
Thank you.
I have a question around personal brands. So how do you look at using all these platforms for your personal brand? Because I know that you mentioned YouTube is something that you're using. So how are you using it, and what are you, distributing as content on these platforms? And it could be different platforms, of course.
Okay, so for YouTube, it's like it's open to the whole world. So as you know, so the social media is open to the whole world. I've been testing YouTube, so maybe I'll be creating my channel just in a couple of months, and even for podcasts. So I have a podcast idea. So maybe by the end of the year, I'll have my own podcasts. I'm preparing for some of my fellow entrepreneurs back home. So I'm preparing a list of them. So to be able to invite them. So I need to be consistent, as I mentioned. So I need maybe a list of maybe 20, 30 people to prepare that content, to be able to content, to be able to film and to record, etc. All that. So it's really expensive, as you know. So you need some camera crew, you need lighting, you need all of that stuff. So I don't have a studio for that, so I need to hire people for that. So I guess the main thing that you need to do to create your personal brand or your own YouTube channel or your own podcast and everything. So you need valuable content. So you need to provide value. You need to present yourself, as I mentioned, as an expert in your niche. So you need to be niche focused, and you need to present yourself as an expert. You need to have an added value compared to others. So to the competitors in that niche, I would say. So maybe if you're a video production maybe firm, you need to provide a better quality video than the other people that are providing video. If you're a musician maybe or a singer or something, you need to have better techniques, you need to have better songs, better lyrics, etc. and all of that stuff. So you always need to be better than your competitors. You always need to provide value for your audience, I would say. So maybe this is the key to having your own personal brand grow and advance and all of that.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yeah, go on. A quick one.
Just 1 minute. What would you recommend for people that are just starting out with their personal brand?
Okay.
With regards to which channels to use, would you say like just start on one channel and then build from there, or would you say like, hey, use different channels?
Okay. So maybe I'll try to quote from, it's not really a quote, but I try to inspire from what's Gary Vee doing. So he's like filming videos and then separating content and posting that content on 3 or 4 different platforms, and then collecting data, so collecting KPIs from those videos or from that content. So maybe he has like a 1-minute video that he posts on Instagram, 2-minute videos that he posts on YouTube, all that stuff. So maybe 10-minute video that he posts on Facebook. So he tries to know or to analyze which platform performed better. So this is what we need to do. So you need to always test what is the better platform for you. So you cannot know just by theory or by reflections all that. So you need to test it to know it. So you need to learn by doing, and you need to improve. What are you posting and what are you really proposing to your audience? So maybe if you post photos, maybe they won't get you the same return as videos. So you need to mix a little bit of both. Maybe if you post articles, it will be better for you, or short articles, it will be better for you than posting just videos or just video content. So without maybe a translation. Maybe if you're working on your local brand or something like that. So you need to always test and adapt to what's changing around you. So to the algorithms and all of that stuff. And you need to test and analyze and then decide on which platform suits you better depending on your business.
Perfect, thank you.
Great. I know, we're a little bit out of time
Okay.
now. So
Okay,
can we do that during the coffee break?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll answer. Yeah.
Thanks
Yeah.
so much. Thank you so much to Baris for
Thank
that
you.
great presentation.
Thank you.
Sorry guys, I just know we're going to be over time and I don't want us to finish late like we did yesterday. Thank you so much, Baris. That was a great presentation. Up next, as hybrid work environments become more mainstream, how will client meetings and brainstorming sessions for campaigns evolve to suit the new format? To give us a glimpse of the future of work through our next session, we have Ravi Rajendra, who is the founder and managing director of Quick Digital, who's going to talk us through everything we need to know about the topic, future meetings in hybrid work culture. Please welcome Ravi to the stage.
Thank you. I'm Ravi. I'm the founder and managing director at Quick.Digital. I'm also a founder and CEO of QuickMeeting.com. It's a hybrid meeting platform. And today, I'm going to take you through something very interesting, which is how our future meetings look like, right? And what are the challenges in this sphere? And what are the opportunities that startups and other people have in this space? So, let me ask you with a few questions, right? How many of you have been doing meetings, in the last 1 week? How many meetings have you been doing, right? So just have that number in place. How many meetings have you been doing in the last 1 month? And how many meetings you've been doing in the last 1 year, right? Now, there's an interesting thing about meetings, right? So most of you, I think it's a pandemic hangover, where if you use the term meeting, most of them refer to Zoom, right? Or to applications like maybe Teams or some other applications that are online only, video conferencing solutions, but they're not actually thinking about the meetings that we are doing now, right? Yesterday and day before yesterday and maybe today, you are doing several of these meetings, right? And I think none of them are actually can be supported by any of these platforms. Am I correct? Right? So that's the date. So for example, right? I met a lot of individuals who exchanged cards. We've discussed a lot of things. I met some investors as well, right? And all of that and the data in those meetings is very important for me, right? And I want to continue take the discussion to the next level. And that is where I think the real challenges are. And connecting the in-person, I think after the COVID, what will become more important is you will have online meetings and offline meetings, and the way you connect all of them together, right? So how do you make sense of all this data? What is the kind of meeting data that is present in these things, and how do you use it for your for the future meetings, right? And that's something I'm going to take you through. So there is obviously a big time commitment involved. There is about 56 million meetings that are happening just in US alone, right? And then out of, let's say, a 40-hour week, you will see that 12.8 hours is just gone through going through your schedules, going through scheduling new meetings and other things for an average person, right? And about $283 billion is actually being lost in actually conducting these ineffective meetings, right? So that's the kind of potential that your organization may leverage in understanding how just meetings can help. Better meetings can make you better organization as well. Because you're fundamentally, if you don't think about the basic component of a meeting in your organization, then I think you're losing a lot of billions of dollars, and that's something which is very important. And now, obviously, then comes the advantage of the technology, right? And we have seen during the COVID how technology has helped us to come out of that zone of just being sitting in the office, but then able to do work from anywhere, and how technology now is how critical is that, right? And at about 83% of the people are dependent on technology. This is after the post-COVID, right? And so this is a very interesting figure. Now, virtual meetings, so I'll be taking through some of the types of meetings, and I'll also take you through how the future meetings look like and how you can actually leverage these future meetings as well. So one of the things is I will as I talk about this, I'll be segmenting it. So first is I'll be talking about virtual meetings. So virtual meetings, as you know, a lot of virtual meeting tools right now. As an organization, you'll be adopting certain tools to go online, talk to it. But what is most important is I think there is a clear differentiator between a meeting and a video conferencing, right? And that's something as an organization, you should kind of clearly differentiate, because in a meeting, the data is more critical. And if you're using, let's say, a video conferencing solution, right, just to go online and think that that's all is the meeting, then you're going to lose that data, right, about the meeting, right? Because in a meeting, you need information, like, for example, if I'm If I'm scheduling a meeting at my office, I know exactly the 4 people that I'm going to meet, the location, the data before the meeting, during the meeting, and after the meeting, and the conversation that I need to do along with it, right? So this whole information is very, very important. I'm sorry. So now what happened after post-COVID is we are seeing drastic trends, or people, organization, especially adopting to something called digital cloud workflows, right? Like I think people are using more of CRMs now. People are using more of cloud platforms to make sure their data is there on the cloud, so that it's easy to kind of adopt to this hybrid work culture, right? And that's something also you should look at. Now, imagine you're running an organization and think of all the data points and how much of it is actually present in your Excel sheets and other things, and how much of it is actually there on the cloud workflows, right? And I think the future is something where I think your 100% of the data, except maybe very, very, confidential information or very personal information, all your organization data has to be in some kind of a cloud workflow, right? And the second important thing is there is a lot of AI and humanoid-based technologies that are coming into the picture, right? Enabling you to do better meetings, enabling you to do better conversations with your clients, with your other employees, with your teams. So all of that is actually happening, right? And AI is learning it, right? There AI to, for example, if you're doing a meeting, there's AI to understand, convert your language, and then make a transcript out of it, and then make it actionable points. And just those actionable points will be listed out, and you can select the actual actionable points and take it out, right? So that kind of AI is actually in place, and there are a lot of other AI technologies that are coming. In fact, AI is also leveraging, for example, companies, using, for example, conversation with their customers, right? If you see the Google Lambda project that they've launched recently, which is a language-based AI application where it understands not just from a thing. For example, yesterday I was just talking to one person in the organization, and we were thinking of doing a meeting at 10 o'clock, right, the next day. And suddenly, the watch, the Apple Siri actually said there is a conflict of the meeting, because I think she's already, having another meeting, right? So AI is very powerful in the future, and it's going to help you schedule your meetings, and not just that, schedule the team meetings and other things as well. And most importantly, when you think of any meeting, you should think of security, right? Because when you speak something, when you're doing something, security becomes paramount. Especially you're going in an online meeting. What is the applications that you're using on online meeting makes a lot of difference in terms of security, because there's a lot of security issues that you'll be also facing in that front. And most importantly, as we adopt to the future, we may go into hybrid work culture where everything need not be online, everything need not be offline. It can be a mix of both. And there is something called hybrid meetings I'm going to talk about, which will also help you in that. Now, just to start, so Zoom actually was about 10 million by 2019 December, and in just 3 months, they actually added about 300 million users, right? So that's the kind of people that have transitioned from offline to an online meetings. So the next thing is also in terms of the productivity increase, right? Because of the virtual meetings, people have reported about a 50% productivity increase, right? The travel time, the things that are there, that has actually significantly improved. And not just that, there is 65% of all the remote meetings are just audio only, right? And so there's no video conversations that are happening, right? So for example, if you ask your team to go on a virtual call, there's a good chance that 65% of them are not going to switch on their video, right? And so think of that as well. Like, and think of the advancements that are going to happen in that as well. And 71% of the companies agree that the video conferencing is a daily necessity now, right? Especially this is after the post-pandemic. The other thing, interesting thing that is happening in this sphere is the hybrid meetings, right? Now, what's a hybrid meeting? Imagine there's a conference room where 4 of you are sitting, and you are actually meeting your customer from US who has 3 of their, their people coming into the meeting, right? And so 3 of them are online, and 4 of you are online, right? So there needs to be support in your organizations where your hybrid enabled rooms are going to be the future, right? Where you need to enable the hybrid meeting platform into the specific meeting room so that it can support hybrid meetings in the future, right? So when you're developing new offices and other things, how do you develop hybrid rooms, and hybrid meeting rooms will be very important as well. And what it also means is for in especially like what I think in the future will be is like in the next 5 years you will see significant number of companies just going to be hybrid enabled, and I think according to a stat there's almost in the top let's say 1 million companies, you'll see that at least 81% of the companies are going to go hybrid, right? So, and the kind of business opportunity that lies here is immense, right? And people who are looking for great opportunities can actually enter into this space where the hybrid meetings is going to be the future. And as I was telling, right, not just that, there's going to be a lot of devices, very interesting devices. We are working on some of them for our meeting project, and so very interesting devices are going to come in place, which will help you in taking your conversations forward, right, in meetings forward. And so another interesting thing is that 90% of the organization will or go adopt remote and on-site work as they emerge from the COVID situation. So again, these are just some numbers, but at the end of the day, just imagine for your business, how is this gonna help you, right? And how are you enabled at this stage for this kind of hybrid scenarios or not? So if you're not, you have to have the planning started right now. Okay, now enough of what is happening. How is the future going to be there, right? And I know pretty much we have been in the session people talking about metaverse. If you're in the internet 2.0, you'll be also seeing people talking about metaverse, and meta is the next big game changer and all that. And that's because the fact that people are going to lean towards an area where you and me need not to be in person anymore, and we may be in some other universe, which is a virtual universe, and we may be doing a lot of things. We may be shopping together or doing a client business meeting together, and all of this is a possibility in the future, and a lot of things are happening in this space, and Facebook's, Google's are all investing tremendous amount of money into this to make this happen, right? And if you see Oculus and other things, it's already a reality, and people are actually going and buying areas there and doing a lot of shopping from there and things like that. And companies are leveraging this as their marketing tools, right? It's just not it's just something not that it is going to be in terms of marketing. It's a huge potential, right? And what these platforms are going to offer you, right? So if you're marketing and if you're an agency or somebody, you will have to provide services in these places as well. And your other companies, your brands that are your customers are going to come to you and ask you to, why don't we market in a metaverse? And you should be aware of what they mean and how to do that, right? So that's something that is going to come in the future. And I believe there's a huge potential budget, but there's only a certain percentage of the people who will be on this metaverse. Now, this is very interesting. For example, imagine, let's say, four of us are sitting, and then one person is actually a holographic image of him who is sitting in New York, but he can still actually carry this conference forward, right? So that's something you will be seeing in the future, right? And for example, there are empty seats here, but in the future, there will be holograms of the people sitting here, and they will be attending this meeting. And that's very much the reality, right, that we are going to see. And you're going to see holographic projections all installed, and the seats designated, and you can actually reserve your spot there, and you can do right from your office this conference, and you will be seeing us, and I will be seeing you, and everything can be done as well, right? And even the networking after this, right, can be enabled with a holographic image. You can just touch the hologram of that person in your office, and you can request for a networking event, and you can choose his time slot and go into a meeting with him just after the conference, right? So all of this is the future, right? And I think it's not very far, and there's a lot of innovation that's happening. And a lot of companies, in fact, we are investing heavily on this technology as well, where we're going to build technology for holographic meetings and other things to support our product. So that's something I think very interesting, like the next gen, and I think it's going to come into event space and events and conferences as well very quickly. So you should be seeing somewhere from the next 4 to 5 years at least, some of the meetings will be holographic enabled. Yeah, that's the future. Yeah, and this has already been there. Like one of the things that if you see now, some of the meetings, even WebEx has launched a device where you can actually fit in the device, and you can really kind of feel the other person just right in front of you, and you can do the meeting one-on-one with them, right? But actually, it's not as interesting as a holograph because of the fact that that there will be eye contact missing and things like that. So it's still developing technology. I think we will be evolving to a place where it's just your goggles. You put the goggles. It looks fancy. Now it's like kind of bulky devices that fit your eye. But then I think the future is where you just put on your goggles, and then you can see the other person in front of you, and he put on his goggles, and he's gonna see he's gonna see you, and you're both in a meeting room, right? And that's also very much possible as well, right? So these are very companies like Zoom, WebEx, and all of them are investing into these technologies, and I think it's going to be something that you will also be using in the next few years. Now, coming to the next segment, right? What's artificial intelligence, and how is it being used? For example, you're doing a meeting with me, and how that artificial intelligence is useful for us, right? So one of the things is artificial intelligence. There are already companies which are dedicating a lot of energy into it, and about transcriptions. So language transcriptions, where if you're speaking in any other language, I can actually hear you, in English, right? Because that's possible now because of the language AI that is involved in it. Not just that. Imagine there is a meeting that is happening, and you want just, let's say, 4 to 5 interesting things about the meeting. The actually AI engine, transcripts everything, figures out what is important about the meeting, categorizes them, and kind of lists them as your meeting agenda or your next action points for your meeting, and you're done, right? So you can actually take that on. So this is also real, but it's about 85 to 95% accuracy is there right now. But there's a lot of research that's going into this sphere in terms of AI. So this is live transcription, and not just that. Like for example, scheduling, right? I want to go to a spa, or I want to go to a saloon, or I want to go to meet a doctor, whatever that may be. The most important thing is that the scheduling in the future is just going to be just one sentence that you speak, right? And the call goes to the let's say doctor, to the clinic, and it actually schedules on behalf of you, right? And that's something in the 2020, I think 2019, Google I/O, they've released a AI engine for that, right? Which does this. So all you need to do is talk and say, I just want to have an appointment with the doctor, and the tool will enable everything, right? Right from understanding when he is free to when you are free, and scheduling the entire meeting between both of you. And this is a very interesting marketing tool as well for you, right? So for example, if you're not integrating yourself if you're a brand and you're not integrating into this, let's say you have a clinic and you're not integrated into this technology, you're going to lose a lot of customers as well, right? So the future is that where everything is actually scheduled just by voice, and you may be driving, and then you can schedule all your meetings, and you can save that 12.8 hours figure that we are right now at, and come down to maybe an hour in a week where you have to do your scheduling part. And that's also very interesting, and a lot of research is happening in this space as well. So the next important thing is how do you, identify a meeting? And this is exactly the problem that we were facing, right? And most of the meeting tools that I think currently don't support, interesting data that I want to, interchange or exchange with my other client or, other team members, right? And that's because that's again, as I was telling, we are all in, I think some kind of pandemic hangover, where we still think meeting is always online, right? Like when I talk to people and say we are a meeting tool, they'll say, okay, how are you different from Zoom? Come on, Zoom is not my, Zoom is okay. Zoom or any other teams, they're fantastic tools, not to do anything with that. But the idea that meeting is just any meeting, right? It can be an in-person meeting, right? It can be something that you're talking and sitting next to each other, and that can be also considered as a meeting, right? And Zoom or any other tools that I'm using right now don't support it, and that's why we wanted to create a product in this space, because I was meeting I run a digital marketing company back in Chennai, and I was like a few months back, I was meeting a customer, who was also my friend, and like we wanted to take down some notes and just maybe have some interest. And we were having a very very heated, like very good conversation about something about his business, right? And we wanted to actually have that captured, right? And there was no ability of any of the tools that I was using at that time. And that's where, like, okay, fine, like I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I thought there's a good opportunity, why don't I enter into this? And that's where I actually entered into this space. So anyway, I'll come to that. Maybe I'll just talk about my product at the end. But then another interesting thing is, in fact, in the yesterday's panel discussion also, we were discussing about emotional and contextual understanding, right? It can be, see, when I talk about meeting, it can be anything. Meeting is a very generic word that actually happens, right? Even if you're marketing, if you're doing a sales call, that also is a meeting, right? So a meeting can be anything, right? But then at the end of the day, you have to understand, based on your organization, what are the kind of meetings, you have to adopt these technologies. So I'm just talking about very futuristic technologies that you can use and develop your system based on that. So insights into, see, for example, there's a lot of, companies that are, like, I know some of them are in India as well, who are investing into, in fact, there was yesterday mention about a Japanese company as well, right? Where emotional, behavior of your work, like, for example, somebody is doing an online call with you. There are systems which can understand how emotionally he is, right? Is he happy? Is he actually serious, or is he moody, right? And all that emotion can be used back in, and then understand how your workforce is, right? So, for example, if I have the last, let's say, 1,000 recordings of the meetings of all your employees, like, I can definitely rank your company at what level you are in terms of emotional meter. In terms of happy meter, right? That's possible now because of the voice and then other things that is being developed, the technologies that are developed to understand emotional and context. And that's so you can understand by that how much more you have to motivate your workforce, right? And it's going to fluctuate, right? It's not going to be the same. Maybe when they're getting hikes, it's going to be better, but not otherwise. So, and then, like, there are a lot of post-meeting bots that understand, as I was talking about, and give you minutes of the meeting, and evaluating performance and analyzing and identifying the decision flow, right? And that's very important for you. If you're taking any meeting, you have to have the decision flow next to it, and there are a lot of tools that are available today which will help you do that as well. Okay. Cool. So let me talk next couple of minutes about my company. Okay, and this is one of the device that we are doing, but then it's not the core business at them. We are in the R&D stage at this time, but this is the device that you can convert your a meeting room into a hybrid room, right? Just by putting it. So it has a projector, and it can actually recognize the faces, and captures that as a recording, and as well as connect to your online customers, let's say if you have a client online, it's gonna do that all together, right? So, and this is the next gen, and it's way cheaper than setting up a hybrid meeting room because it's a device and it comes handy where you can place it in any of your meeting rooms. Right now, if you want to make a hybrid room, I think it'll cost you, I don't know, like maybe, you know, tens and thousands of dollars, but this is going to be far cheaper than that. Now, there are obviously, okay, I'll just skip this. So I'll just, I think, yeah, I think my logo is missing there. That's okay. Yeah. So my product, main reason why we developed this product is two things. One, none of the meeting softwares currently you see have an in-person meeting conversation captured in them, right? And that's where we felt a lot of need for it. The second most important reason is this. Okay, as I was asking the first initial question, I asked you to remember a figure in the last 1 month, the number of meetings that you've been doing. I know it varies from everyone, but just imagine those meetings and the kind of data that you have in those meetings. Do you have the data with you today? Do you know who are the people that you met, and are you using that to take the decisions forward? And if you're not, this is the platform for you, right? And Quick Meeting does exactly that, right? So it focuses on something called meetings, and yesterday and day before I was here, and then I was doing a lot of meetings, and all of that information is captured. I know exactly when I met a person, and we have created multiple offline rooms. I think people who have interacted with me will know this. So we created offline rooms, and we have recorded some of the conversations there, and that is there with me all the time, right? And I can go back, convert that into a business or investment opportunity, or just give business, right? So that's the power of the platform, and that is something that is missing in any of the current existing tools, and that's where we built Quick Meeting, and it focuses on meeting. And so this is the kind of opportunity that is there in the space, and it has offline and online rooms, and you can actually create. These are all actually graphics. I think it's a PDF, so it's not rendering. So it has workspaces. It has availability calendars. You can share those availability calendars, and then one-on-one meetings. And then, these are the reasons why it is interesting, because it improves your team productivity by 2 to 20-fold. And also, not just, everything is real-time. It has great app support, so you have notes, charts, files, everything in a meeting room, so you can actually access and do that. And then you have, we do it at a very efficient way. The online meetings, it's a proprietary technology, and the online meetings that happen there happen to be very efficient as well. And this is what we are doing. We are solving something called a complex meeting problem, and all your data for the last 1 month, whatever the meetings, if you're using Quick Meeting, is actually there, and you can do a lot more better, than any other tool out there for meetings. And that ends my session, and thank you so much for listening. And if I may, I can take some questions.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Ravi. What a great session. Let's give him a nice round of applause once again. Thank you, Ravi. Great stuff. The future of hybrid meetings. I love it. Now, before we get into our little award ceremony, of course, recognizing lots of you lovely people here, we do have a nice video from FlixP. Do I have my video?
Each time we activate at retail, we spend a mountain of resources to increase in-store brand visibility. At the end of the campaign, most, if not all of these resources go to waste. Naturally, customers and brands are not pleased with this, which is why teams of talented engineers and designers from companies all over the world have tackled this challenge. But we have yet to see a logistically which are replaced between campaigns, use less than 10% of the material a traditional cardboard FSU uses, and they're recyclable. At Flixby, we reduce, reuse, and recycle. Now, how about stocking power? You can get a full color transformation of the unit, and you can cover 100% of the visible structure of the jacket stand with printed brandable material. You can do freeform die cuts on the upper and front edges of the sides with our thin edge technology. You can even emboss and deboss with special printing. You can add smells, sounds, and lights. Even the shelving system changes according to your product. Want something bigger? Combine multiple jacket stands into a single unit with our combo corner design. You can combine 2, 3, 4, or more jacket stands this way. Our permanent structure can be deployed and jacketed in under 3 minutes without a single tool or adhesive. Everything just locks into place. In-store deployment has never been this easy. Up to 10 of our jackets can fit in 50 by 40 centimeter box, meaning 90 can fit on a single pallet. No more backaches. Need to change campaigns? Easy. Order new jackets and deploy them in a matter of days. At Flixby, we don't compromise. Flixby, sustainable POS innovation.
Great stuff from Flixby. Right, it's time to acknowledge and honour the exemplary efforts of individuals and organisations that have played a fantastic role in transforming the marketing and advertising arenas. And I'd like to please welcome up to the stage to help present our awards the lovely Chintan Sareen. He's the founder of Shunya Akai Technologies. Chintan, it's always a pleasure to have you up on our stage. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Nice to see you again. Thanks for joining us. And our first couple of awards go out to our best companies. So our first best company award winner of the day is Web3M.
Thank you very much. Thank you to having us today. I'm really excited. We are going to lead the marketing on the Web3, and we're looking for marketers and innovators to join us. So we have a great team, super excited, super smart, super innovators, and we are so glad that we got this opportunity to lead this marketing on the Web3. So thank you very much, really appreciate it, and welcome everyone.
Thank you so much, congratulations. And we're going to move on to our Outstanding Leadership Awards, and the first one today goes to Abdullah Al-Karaif.
Thank you for all. Thank you for hosting me. And yeah, thank you.
Congratulations, thank you so much. And our next Outstanding Leadership Award goes to Adia Bouskila.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I would like to take this chance to thanks to my amazing team that stands behind me and run this innovation of disruption of the entire marketing industry. Thank you very much, and thank you, Marketing 2.0.
Thank you so much and congratulations. And our next Outstanding Leadership Award winner is Alafia Sura. Is she here? I don't think she's... Alafia? She's too busy chatting over there.
Thank you, Marketing 2.0. You know, leadership, especially in our world of sales, is often seen as a nagging profession because sales is black and white. You either deliver or you don't. And then what does the boss do? He keeps on adding more pressure on you, right? 80% of leaders fail to impress in the first 2 years of their position. And 60% of employees hate their bosses. So guess what we're up against? So I really appreciate to be acknowledged for this position, and I'm looking forward to make it easier for many, many sales leaders and business owners and bosses to go and make it easy for your teams to get you more numbers and keep it fun and happy all along. Thank you.
Thank you so much and congratulations. And our next winner of the Outstanding Leadership Award is Arthur Huayando.
Well, thank you very much, Marketing 2.0. It was a pleasant surprise for me to be nominated for this award and to be standing on the stage this morning to receive it. I'd like to dedicate this award to my wonderful team at Pioneer Marketing and Public Affairs back in Vietnam. They're working hard every day to address our clients' everyday marketing and public affairs challenge. We started our company a little over 18 years ago, and we've grown into a network with active presence in not just Vietnam, but also in Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, and Malaysia. Working for clients such as Alibaba.com, McKinsey and Company, Mambu from Germany, Blakemore and Blackstone Minerals from Australia. Whenever you have a need to invest in that part of the world or understand better about the marketing environment or regulatory landscape, media landscape in Southeast Asia, you know where to find us. We can be found online. I'm sure that the conference organizers will help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Arthur, and congratulations. And the next winner of our Outstanding Leadership Award. He kicked off our presentations this morning. It's Badis Suisi.
Thank you, Marketing 2.0 team. So I would like to thank especially Jatin, who's here. So thank you for all your patience, for everything that you've done for me. I would like to thank Yashasvi. I guess he's on his way to the US or already there, yeah? So thank you for nominating me. I would like to dedicate this award to my passing aunt. So she passed 2 months ago, so this is for her. This is for my country, Tunisia, so this is for my team back there, for our efforts, for everything that we've done. And of course, this is for my family, so for my father, my mother, and for my brother, who've stood by me in ups and downs, highs and lows, everything. And for my future fiance, so this is for her too. So thank you very much. Thank you to everyone.
Congratulations, Baris, well done. And our next Outstanding Leadership Award winner is Chris John Graff.
Thank you very much for this amazing award. I want to thank also my team who has really helped to achieve this so much. I have a really great team. And yeah, we're very happy to inspire people to find their passion and also to digitalize it and make it for them possible to live their passion through their work. Thank you very much. Have a great day and see you later on stage. Bye.
Thank you so much, Chris, and well done. And our next Outstanding Leadership Award goes to Imran Farouk.
Thank you to the entire Marketing 2.0 conference team organizer, especially Jatin, who did a lot to make this happen. And I would like to dedicate this award to the entire team at Autumn Grey, Bangalore. They've done a ton of work, great, endeavor in the field of marketing, online reputation management, and my hand goes out to all of them for the excellent work they've done. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations. And our next recipient of the Outstanding Leadership Award is Linda Chen.
Thank you to Marketing 2.0 organizers for the recognition. Coming from Malaysia, I'm truly excited and honored to receive this award here in Dubai. I would also like to dedicate this award to my CEO who is here with me today. Thank you for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to do what I'm truly good at. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Congratulations. And our next Outstanding Leadership Award winner is Raphael Ita.
Well, thank you for Marketing 2.0 for this recognition, and I would like to dedicate this to my company, everyone there, Axos International. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raphael, and congratulations. Our next award winner of the Outstanding Leadership Award is Ravi Rajendra. He just hot-footed it on stage. He's hot-footing it back on stage.
Thanks, Marketing 2.0, a fantastic event, very fruitful for us. And I would like to dedicate this award to my beautiful family as well as to a wonderful creative digital marketing team back in Chennai. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations, Ravi. Our next Outstanding Leadership Award winner is Shubham Mishra.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the team of Marketing 2.0. And a big thanks to Mr. Jatin for being so patient with my questions. And this is dedicated to my parents and my team back in India. Thank you for always being there and supporting me and believing in me. Thank you.
Congratulations. And I believe for our next award winner, we've got a couple of slides ready. Our next Outstanding Leadership Award winner is Wilson Kapuyan II. Wilson.
Okay, so hello again, everyone. Yeah, so there were a few slides missing yesterday, but first off, I'd like to thank Marketing 2.0. I mean, such a great event. I'd like to thank the team back in the Philippines and all our partners around the globe. You've been such an amazing, supportive system that this wouldn't be possible without them, to be honest. I'd like to thank all our supporters, family, of course, my mom, my dad, my siblings. And for those missing slides, it wasn't the fault of the technical team over here, it was mine, don't worry. So this is basically Roman, for those of you who have read my bio. He is basically my boss. So when writing for love, again, I'd like to reiterate that just take into account it doesn't have to be person to person. It could be a person to a pet, to even some inanimate object. And for those of you who would like to see his face, that's it right there. To the right is when he has his puppuccino. And for the final slide, this was supposedly Plan C. Obviously, it's now Plan D. My contact information, I didn't bring my business card. So if you'd like to connect with me on LinkedIn, or email me directly at Pixels and Metrics. So it's wilson@pixelsandmetrics.com, or if you'd like to connect with our sister company, support at theneutral.space, the co-working cafe. Again, thank you to everyone. Thank you, Marketing 2.0.
I hope Roman gets a nice reward when you get home, Wilson, that's for sure. Love it. Next Outstanding Leadership Award goes to Aditi NC.
So it's such a great honor. Ta-da! Sorry, I do not have that huge of a list, but there's some people that I really need to mention and thank them for being a part of this journey. First and foremost, my father-in-law, he was the first person actually with whom I shared the idea of the social unicorns. Then my mom, who always thinks that my ideas are great, no matter how stupid they are. So thanks to her. My father, very inexpressive. I always try to figure out whether he's happy or proud of me or both, and I fail most of the times because obviously he doesn't express. So that pushes me to do better. Then my husband, obviously, he is that cushion. People say one must take risks. I have that cushion, and I dare to take risks. Also, my mother-in-law, she takes care of the entire, household chores, even my bit. So I don't thank her enough. So I think this is a great platform to thank her for that. Thank you so much, Mom. My girl gang. My girl gang who's always there to help me put my beep together. Beep because my 6-year-old is there on Zoom and I cannot say the word. My sister, who's a silent admirer, a babysitter for sure, because I have a 6-year-old. And last but not the least, my #1 cheerleader, Vivan, my 6-year-old son, who is very much interested in knowing the projects I'm working on, the clients I'm working with. The other day I was busy with something and I asked him to take a call on my behalf, and he very politely refused, and he took the call and he politely talked to the person, and after that I asked him, who was that? He said, oh mama, don't worry, that was some bank giving you a cold call. He's 6, and he did say that. That made me proud, and it's because of him that I'm here. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you and congratulations. And our next Outstanding Leadership Award winner is Hussein Husseini.
It's great to be back in Dubai. Thanks to Marketing 2.0 to chase me to the last minute and convince me to participate. I do, surprisingly, not consider myself as a leader. I see myself as a person who tries to help, share his knowledge into a talented world of people, share his knowledge and experience, and to show that you can actually achieve things with kindness, especially in this fast-pacing world. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Our next Outstanding Leadership Award winner is Mohammed Nabil.
We're all marketing professionals and we're all trying to sell something, an idea, a brand, a product, or a service. To me, this is a PR event and I'm mainly here for networking. I've met some interesting people and I hope you all did the same. Thank you.
And our next Outstanding Leadership Award goes to Salah Hage. Salah here? We don't have Salah, okay. So once again, a nice big round of applause to all our award winners. Thank you so much to Chintan Sareen for giving out our awards. Nice big pat on the back to all of you winners. Fantastic to have you here. We will be continuing our speaker sessions after a short coffee break, which is going to be digital marketing leadership, all aspects of marketing from the eye of AI. But for now, let's have a little coffee break for the next 20 minutes or so, and we'll see you back here shortly. Thank you so much. want this one or this one? Okay, so I'll give you those here already. We'll just crack on and get going. People will come back in anyway. Okay. So, welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a chance to have a little coffee break and do lots of chatting once again. It's amazing to speak to a lot of you out there. I hope you're refreshed and re-energized for our next speaker session, which is called Digital Marketing Leadership, All Aspects of Marketing from the Eye of AI. AI wears multiple hats in the marketing arena. It can spot micro trends, interpret disparate customer data, and simplify targeted marketing. Acknowledging its impact, our next speaker will elaborate on how the entire industry is evolving because of accelerated AI adoption and the role of leaders in this arena. Please welcome up to the stage our next speaker, Chris John Graff. He is the founder and CEO of Digital Passion.
Good morning, happy people. How are you today? I hope you had a great conference so far. And where's my slide? Here. Thanks very much. So, and are you ready for some real talk? Very nice, very nice. So I would like to start with a few questions. So, how many of you want to be a good leader? Raise your hands. Let me see them. Nice, nice. And how many of you sincerely believe it's a challenge to be a true leader? Thank you for your hands. Great. So then I'm looking forward to our presentation today. I hope I can give you some insights. Maybe first a bit about myself. My name is Chris John Graff. I'm from Switzerland, and I've created 3 companies to inspire people to live their passion. One of them is Digital Passion. 2 others I was a co-founder of. But enough of me and my companies. You are here to get some value, so I'm gonna dive into the topic. You've seen on the schedule that the topic is a bit confusing. Maybe the title you saw, there's AI, there's leadership. I'm gonna be honest, I twisted it up a little bit. That's why it got such a long title. But don't worry, I'm gonna be here to guide you through this presentation, through this journey. So just be with me. So let's start about AI. The big word, huh? The big thing coming. And I think before we look at the future, we have to recognize the past. What has happened in the last 10 years? Oh my God, has technology changed the world, right? Not so long ago, we didn't even have iPhones or phones. When I was a child, I was still using a pager to call my mother home. Did you know pagers? And look at us today. The world has changed, but one thing we have to know, it's an exponential growth. That means what has happened in the last 10 years is going to be nothing to what's going to be happening in the next 5 years. Are you ready for this? And even if you are ready, probably a lot of people aren't. I think most people had a challenge with the last 10 years. How are they going to be coping with the next 5 and what's going to come up? I mean, the whole professional space, every profession is going to transform completely. And yeah, the big word AI is going to make a big difference. And what does it do for marketing? For marketing, it will be crazy. So we all know what marketing is currently mainly about, right? We went from physical to digital. Then we went from like talking to everybody the same way to trying. I think we're all still a bit trying, right? Even if everybody that says we're great at it, we're still trying to talk to everybody individually. But because we're setting up systems that are not so flexible yet, it's hard. Now, that's where AI is going to come into place. AI is going to create user experiences on the fly, meaning a whole customer journey is going to be invented in the second. A whole persona is going to be created and analyzed in the second by the AI. And now, let's be honest, guys. we are already pretty good at marketing. Marketing is influencing the world. Now imagine what that will do if suddenly you, not only as a male or female, not only as a nationality, no, but you as a specific person are going to be targeted exactly for what you want and for what you need and how you want it to be and how you want it to look like, with the colors you like, all of that. It's going to be crazy. And we're going to go have insights that we never had. I mean, we already have big data, right? We have a lot of data to analyze, but it's still in so much different platforms and we can't really read it right. But what if AI is going to create data and analytics for us for today, for now? Like the analytics may change over an hour how they are shown to you because AI knows what you want to see right now. That's going to happen as well. So we're going to have this powerful omni-channel engine that is not only going to be reactive, adaptive, but also very insightful. And that's when I started twisting up my presentation. Because I realized, wow, what's going to happen is going to be powerful. It's going to be powerful to an extent where it can be scary. I mean, we all know, right? We're on a scale in marketing between inspire positive actions to manipulation. We all know that, right? And it's probably already today a challenge to, not be too much on the manipulative side. And yeah, it's going to be harder even in the future. And that also means risks. Risks are involved with AI, because who's going to create the borders? Who's going to make the right decisions? How are we? I don't think it's about the problem will be revenue, because that will definitely work with customer journeys adapted to every person. For me, the key thing to an ethical marketing, and that's where I twisted the presentation, is leadership. When AI marketing is coming, what we need is leadership. And why else leadership before AI? I mean, how are our businesses built? Maybe at the beginning the leader starts building, but at some point, and especially if it's a long-term business, businesses are built by people, by the culture. And it will continue building long after the leader has left if the culture is built right. But again, that is leadership. You, as a leader, create the environment, the culture, the values that lead a company forward. And now let's get to a very important point. Who is ruling the world? How is the world ruled? Information. And who says which information is true? Yeah, that's an interesting question. And listen, I think which one is the industry that defines or that puts out their information and defines truth? It's marketing. Marketing in the political world, marketing in the corporate world. Marketing is what helps create mindsets, is what helps create beliefs, and we are the future of that industry. So what are we want to build? I have one question to you. Is money really everything? I mean, if you're one day gonna leave this world and you're not gonna take your money with you, and you're gonna be on your deathbed and looking back at your life, what do you want to leave in this world? It's an important question for the future, guys, honestly. We need to know what we want to bring to this world. Is it only profit? And profit for who? Or do we also want to bring something into this world which has value, which has ethical value, which comes from our heart? I believe a lot of times we are bringing information out there from customers we can't 100% control, But do you also not want to bring out your own heart information out there and inspire people in a positive way? I believe leadership, for me, for a new future, has 3 pillars, 3 principles. And I'm going to go through them right now. They're going to be very counterintuitive, you'll see. First of all, for me, leadership in this new world means submission, subordination. Wow, isn't that the opposite of leadership? Submission? I don't believe so. You know why? Because if you are you can be either about yourself or about something else. That's the only 2 options you have. You can't do anything else. If you, as a leader, are only following things for yourself, you automatically are against everyone else. It's true, because if you're only about your own needs, you're gonna have a conflict with other people's needs. So what are you going to create? So you can also, of course, be about something else that is bad. There has been leaders like that as well. But I believe in order to be a good leader, you have to submit to something bigger than you. It can be different things. It could be your country, a cause, your God, whatever you want it to be. But it is very important that you lead for something bigger than you. It humbles you and it gives you focus and purpose. And then when you know, do you know what you're leading for? What you're submitting to? If you don't, maybe think, is it just profit? Or what should it be? And then there's a second part. Serving. Servant leadership. I have brought a little requisite for you. So this here. You have all seen this in restaurants, right? So we always think leaders should be served by their employees, right? By their followers. What if this is wrong? What if it's the opposite? What if we are the servants as leaders? What if we should be not asking, what can my employees do for me, but what can I do for my employees? Again, who is building the business? The employees. So why shouldn't you be there and ask everybody, okay, what do you need to produce better work? What do you need to be more efficient? What do you need to be more happy? You need a new computer to be more efficient. We need to change maybe how the air is in the room. We need to maybe more sales, more people to work, whatever. You should ask your people what you can do for them, because you as a leader are there to make sure the environment is perfect for production and for inspiration to evolve of your organization. So be a servant leader. Number 3, step aside. Again, something special, right? Leaders, are they not supposed to be like in the center of everything? No, I don't believe so. Why? Maybe at the beginning, yes. You have to lead as an example first, for sure. But then you need to also let other people shine. We all need appreciation. We all need to be seen. Most of all, your employees, your teams. So give the spotlight to someone else. And you can only do that if you step aside. And new leaders can only emerge if you step aside. So very important. You shouldn't be the one needing the spotlight as a leader. You should be the one giving it to all your employees, making them seen, making them what is celebrated. And then they will work a lot better. That's your job, to make the organization work better, not make it about yourself. Yes, and now, for me, the true discipline of leaders is the following. Build a lineage of leaders. I want to tell you about a few people. Do you guys know Socrates? Who knows Socrates? Great. Who knows Aristotle, Plato, and Alexander the Great? Not exactly the right order, but did you know that these guys were all students and professors of each other, teachers and students of each other? Imagine these guys are still talked about today. Imagine how good of a leader you have to be to not only create such a lineage, but to be talked about thousands of years after you've not been on this earth anymore. So Socrates, he said, an unexamined life is a life not even worth living. So we need to examine our lives before we can be good leaders. And he was the teacher of Plato. And Plato wrote a book called The Republic. A book, there were not even books then, or paper the way we know it today, but it's still available today to buy and to see. He wrote about a group of people in a cave, and one went out and saw the light and came back to tell everybody about the light. But nobody could understand it because they had never seen it. Sometimes people just can't dance with you because they can't hear the music that you're hearing. And Plato, he was the teacher of Aristotle. And Aristotle said, to avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. Wow, what a profound phrase he said. And he was the teacher of Alexander, not the pretty good, but Alexander the Great. Maybe until today known as one of the biggest warrior of all time. One of the most influential people of history. He has created an empire that has lasted for centuries afterwards. And still today in military academies, and you know how war has changed, his strategies are told thousands of years after he has lived. Isn't that the kind of lineage of leaders you would like to create? Maybe imagine yourself as an Aristotle who had a teacher like Plato and now builds leaders like Alexander the Great, who goes out there and hopefully not only for profit, but for changing the world into a better place. So, also Aristotle, he said, you have to communicate and lead with ethos, pathos, and logos. What does that mean? It means ethos, be ethical. When whatever you do, be ethical. Not only when people are looking, also when the cameras are off. You know what I believe? Guys, this is also important. I believe we all know what's right and what's wrong. We have this inner compass. It might be pretty silent sometimes. We have to sometimes be a bit silent to listen to it. But if you're really honest, you know. You know. You know. But are you listening? And when you're a leader, you multiply what you believe in. So pay attention to that. And then logos. Logos sounds simple, but is it? It means be logical. Everything has to make sense. If you talk to your people, if you lead, if you create a document, if you create a process, it has to be logical. It can't just follow any rule. It has to follow a logical rule. And then for me, of course, what I'm all about, the pathos. You know, what's pathos? Pathos is passion. Live your life with passion. Because if not, why are you here if you're not giving it your all? If you're not going out there and all that was brought in was you were created for a purpose and you were made perfect. So go out there and shine and bring it out to the people and to the world. And in that way, we can, as leaders, as new leaders in marketing or for the future, we can co-create an ethical, logical, and passionate new world. Because the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. So, thank you so much for listening to me. I hope I brought some value to you. Thank you very much. Of course, we'll have some Q&A if anybody has a question. In the meantime, if you want to connect, the left QR code is to connect with me and my company on social media, and the right one is to get the PDF the keynote as a PDF. Exactly. Great. That was it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chris. And do we have any questions from our audience members? Anyone want to ask Chris something? I love your energy. You're just so full of life and
Thank
joy.
you.
It's
I love your
wonderful.
energy too.
Thank you so much.
Any questions? Yes.
Denise, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the presentation. I'm just curious to know, how did you come about the passion part for yourself? When did you know, and how did it come about for you?
That's a good question. I think I've always been that way. I just couldn't always name it. It's a lot of, maybe sometimes it's more about unlearning stuff in life and really listening when it's silent than about learning something new. I think it's already all there. I don't also know if passionate is completely like englobing everything I'm about, but I think in a matter of words, it's the closest that it gets to what I'm about and what I wanna inspire and yes, give to the world.
Very beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions? Are you running over there?
Thanks, lovely presentation. One quick question was, you mentioned about, one of the options when you talk about AI-driven marketing, it's going to be more adaptive and reactive. Can you just elaborate on these 2 points, please?
Yes, of course. I mean, it's like I said, today we're creating customer journeys for specific personas, user groups, and that means we might have different, for example, social media campaigns for different groups of people, and we might adjust the video or the image and all of that. But I mean, that's not the whole customer journey. At one point, they come into a regular sales funnel where there's always the same PDFs shown, the same email marketing, or the same sales, let's say talk to them. But when AI comes into play, this customer journey will be created on the fly for that specific, not user group, but person. So an AI will be able to search all the social media and internet about Chris John Graff, know exactly what I'm about, what I like, what my colors are, what my beliefs are, what my values are, and then create, based on that, not only the marketing campaigns, like the image or the video that is seen on social media, but the whole customer journey that comes afterwards. And that's going to be crazy, because they're going to know you better than yourself. So the AI is going to know you better than yourself. They're going to show you things you will like you didn't even know you liked.
Thank you.
Any other questions in the audience? Oh, one at the back there. I can't see.
Thank you so much. That was an excellent presentation.
You're welcome.
So basically, when you mentioned about ethics in the AI-driven marketing field, so this is something that, you're getting a lot of data, and this is something that's self-propagating. So I wanted to understand who watches the watchers, right? This is something that needs lots of regulation, and how do you go about such a thing without abuse of data, and privacy and stuff like that?
Yes, I understand what you mean. I mean, who regulates, who oversees, where are the guidelines, who gives them? And honestly, I believe the only thing we can change in life is ourselves. We don't really have the power to change other people. But in changing ourselves, we can change our environment. So I think the question to ask here is not who's gonna take care of this. We all have to take care of this. And we all have to start with ourselves. And that's all you can do, but it means a lot. If you are ethical, if you make this your value, if you talk about it, if your organization is about it, and you communicate that way, that's gonna matter. As small or as big as it is, it's gonna matter. Then the more people that do that, the more it becomes something that is relevant, that is a standard. There's a lot of things you're not allowed to do in this room right now, not because you're getting into prison, but it's not socially accepted. What if being unethical is not socially accepted anymore? That's where we have to go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's a really great point to finish on, I think.
Thank you.
I like that, Chris. Thank you so much. Can I take those off, please? Amazing, amazing. The man with the passion. We love it. We've got a panel session up for you next. Video marketing. Videos are the future. It's something we all have to do now. Some people are very, very good at this. Some people are very, very bad at this. But how can brands put their best foot forward in this complex format? And in our next session, our panelists are going to lay out effective tactics catering to a wide range of marketing budgets, from the shoestring for emerging brands to cash-rich extravaganzas for businesses with a global presence. And to lead us in the discussion, secrets for successful video marketing with budgets from $0 to $1 million, I'd like to welcome to the stage our moderator, Wilson, of course, founder and general manager of Pixels and Metrics. I know we were chatting about this a little earlier, a couple of days ago. And our other panelists, Gaurav and also Nahid and Matteo, if you'd all like to come up, please. I need 4 microphones. So Wilson, I'm going to give you this one. Very good. Yeah, thanks. No, I just need 3 more.
Thank you. Yes.
Mic test, mic test.
Hello.
Good morning, everyone, again. I think you might be getting tired of hearing my name. But basically, again, my name is Wilson Capuyan. I'm the founder and general manager of Pixels and Metrics. So we're based in the Philippines, and basically we're the digital marketing agency that specializes in web design, in social media management, and content creation. However, we do have partners around the globe that may be the reason why if you go onto our website, you'll see many more services. But enough about me. We're here today as a panel, to talk about even more secrets. So for those of you who didn't catch yesterday's presentation, today's panel discussion is all about secrets for video marketing from any budget from $0 to $1 million. To, in some extent, in some markets, that might, even $1 million isn't much. And we're gonna delve into those details today. But to give their own introductions, let me introduce Gaurav, Nahid, and Matteo from their own respective companies. And they are the ones who are going to tell their own introductions, because who better to tell their own stories but themselves? Would you like to start?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Gaurav Dubey, founder of Home of Marketing. We are a growth hacking agency. So basically, finding opportunities across the entire marketing funnel and figuring out sales and scale. We're based in India, from Bombay. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me.
Good morning. This is Nahid Hassan, founder and CEO of Beachcope Digital Limited. This is a digital agency mostly focusing on inbound marketing, content production. We are helping small and medium businesses to grow globally. We have 2 offices. In one headquarters is in Bangladesh. This is for the production activities, and the sales activities actually from US office. A part of that, we have 2 virtual team. One is based in India, and one is based in Philippines.
Hello everyone, my name is Matteo Pittaluga. I'm the founder of Marketing Genius with my business partner Fabio Gallerani, who's here as well today. We are an accredited business school, and we provide high-level trainings about digital marketing for entrepreneurs and also people who are starting from scratch and want to learn digital marketing in order to relaunch their career and become social media manager or e-commerce expert and join the new digital marketing professions that the market need right now.
Thank you, everyone. And they're being quite humble, but in this panel, we have a very diverse group where we're from the Philippines, Bangladesh, India, all the way from Italy. We have TEDx speakers here. We have veteran marketers. We have people who've been teaching over 30,000 people, right? Yes. And to start off, let's start, since this is quite a small panel, the question is basically directed at everyone. What categorizes a successful video marketing campaign?
I'll start. Basically, right now, any of you can guess what's the biggest issue out there that videos can solve? Like why people do not buy right away? Who knows the answer? What do you guys say? There are many reasons, but in my opinion, there's one big problem: trust. Trust is the thing that video can solve faster than anything. So I believe in order to create a video campaign that is successful, you need to have in your mind, how can I build the trust? So that at the end of the video, people at least give me a chance and at least maybe visit my channel or my social media profile and they have a look at who I am. Because right now, in my opinion, at least from what I see in my market, education, it's really hard to convert right away. People do not buy right away. They need to look, watch, make research, and then find out more about you. And then, if they like you and trust you, eventually they raise their hand and say, I'm gonna join.
Yeah, especially with the power of the internet where reviews are so important and how the community basically, or your target market reacts to what you say, that basically dictates if you're going to have a successful video marketing campaign in the end. Any other inputs from the panel?
Yes. So, all right. So now, for me, I would want to go slightly more technical. Have your objective right. Understand what the video is for, basically the function of the video, right? And what is the video, what's the placement in the marketing funnel, right? So what, when, how should be very exact for the video to be scalable, right? Or make it a success. So you need to have your objectives right. It can be video views, ROAS, CAC, orders, whatever is your objective. You need to make sure what is the function of the video, right? Whether it's for sales or whether it's a bumper ad, which is like a 6-seconder where you show for remarketing, right? And what is going to be the placement in the marketing funnel, right? So whether you're going to show them multiple times or few times or and so on. Another thing, which I think the marketers generally don't do because we're all lazy, right? But you can segment the audience, right? And make sure that you have cuts or edits based on each segment. And you show that segment, that exact video, right? It's a little difficult job, but it does the trick. Apart from that, you should have FOMO techniques. And
missing out.
yeah. And I think yesterday you just said you have a 6-second rule. So that 6-second rule, I think, definitely applies here. So if you can't cook the customer in like 3 to 6 seconds, don't spend money on the video. It's just going to be a waste of your budgets. Yeah. So if you have all these things right, along with FOMO, it could definitely be a success.
Certainly, certainly. And going into the technical aspect of it, it's a good reminder for everyone here. You're all experts in your field, but sometimes a bit of a review does really help. And the funny you should mention that, it's because YouTube, like, basically it dictates it for everyone. If you have 5 seconds before you can skip the ad, if you can't capture the attention within 5 seconds, you're basically gone.
I want to add one thing here, is that, so in any video, there are two parts actually. One is that the audience who are actually going to consume the video, and the other part is that the platform we are using. So when we are talking about the successful video campaign, that definitely needs to be created to keep in mind that some person is going to watch that video. So what's the objective? And the second, how that specific platform works. how that platform's algorithm works to get the maximum advantage from that video. Each platform has a different algorithm. If we just think about YouTube, when we watch any video on YouTube, longer video is okay. We have that mindset. But when we are on Instagram, we are actually not going to watch longer video there. So we have a mindset that on Instagram, we are looking for small videos. So that platform can also play like big role in terms of getting success of those video marketing campaigns.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just adding to that, you're absolutely right. But this is just sort of an experience. So in Facebook or Instagram, they are now, instead of the static ads, you get a higher conversion if it's a video. And I think they're promoting the video sort of content a lot more. So that's just a
It's just
suggestion
much
that-
cheaper to get the clicks if you promote a video.
Just an experience.
Like it just cuts through the cost way, way, way better than just making a static photo or a regular post. And see, that's why discussion is really good. You get secrets from other secrets, like they build on each other. So from moving from that question, how do you in your respective agencies, how do you do video marketing on a budget, let's say a very low budget of essentially $0? Because in the Philippines, everyone loves to do it on their own. I think we had a discussion, Mateo, the other day, where it's like, it's very similar in Italy.
Well, when you start from zero, you have no choice. You can't delegate, you gotta do everything. You gotta do the video, you gotta do the editing, you gotta publish, you have to do everything.
Yes.
So, in my opinion, when you start from zero, as I said, you have no choice. So you have to do everything using your time. So you have to invest a lot of time. Then when you have more money, you can use the money to leverage that. So you can scale much faster. So when you start, I believe you got to produce a lot of content, and then find the right format for you. Like my business partner, Fabio, yesterday, he went viral on TikTok with a crazy video of 15 seconds when he's a teacher of sales. He was teaching on the phone how to deal with objections. And this was a crazy video. Like he was simulating, he has this imaginary guy, Mario, on the phone, and he tries to close the sale. No, Mario, what? Don't hang up the phone. And he starts like that, you know? So on TikTok, if you go crazy, people love it, and he went viral, you know? But in order to go viral, maybe you need to test a lot. That's what you do when you start.
Yeah, so I'll just tell you a case study, which I did. Probably all can use it in your countries and for your clients. So it was a lifestyle client, all right? They were selling fashion items. We pulled off a zero budget sort of a marketing a video strategy for them. The founder himself, along with the camera, created the video like a testimony. It was very authentic, very organic, which people love. And for media, what we did was we tied up with, so we did a media barter. So that is giving them gift vouchers of our dead stock to third-party agencies, right? Who bought the media, and we pushed that across. So without any marketing spend, we got a few $1,000s worth of media, and we had zero production cost because the founder himself was in the video. So and it got us great returns for sure. So that is a case study I think y'all can also try in your own respective countries.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, that's the beauty of marketing. Sometimes it's trial and error, and sometimes something just works. So on your experience of like going through all these styles of video marketing, you're able to basically get a certain formula out of it and be able to really successfully video market for yourselves or your clients. Nahid, anything to share?
Yeah, so like when we don't have budget, there are so many courses available there. I did a few of them, how to capture good videos from mobile. So like, don't need to go for the course. There are so many YouTube videos there as well. So if we can actually find some of the fundamental to create good video from mobile, that is actually helping us to cut the logistic parts. So that can be one thing we can implement. From my experience from various campaigns, it may not perfectly fit for every business, but for some business like agencies and some other different types of products, I will say services rather than products can be implemented. So when we are capturing videos from mobile device, so like what we do usually, we try to capture videos like this. So then the focus, as it is mobile, so the focus was not like, that it was shaky. So rather than going like this, if you can keep three different videos, one is that in this way, one is this way, and one is this way, and if you can connect that with any mobile video editor or Filmora or any like other easy to use video editing tools, so then it gives better result. Third is that if it was little bit shaky, just if you can if you can just increase the speed little bit and give a good background music, like it will be very difficult for anyone to understand that this video was from mobile device. So there are some tricks can be implemented to cut the cost, and it will give almost the same result if the like message or content quality is good enough.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, even at Pixels and Metrics, sometimes we have a few cameras in the office, but in a split of a moment, we can just, if we see something that works for the client, we just take out our phones, take a picture, take a video very quickly, post it on the internet, and that's the entire video campaign already. Because sometimes you just, I'm not sure if everyone's watched Emily in Paris. I mean, it's on Netflix, but it's an oversimplification of what we do as marketers, to be honest. Not anyone can just post a picture and it will go viral just because it had some catchy headline or something like that. But essentially, that's one way it's done. Everything can be done on mobile. I mean, iPhone 13 came out with their cinematic.
It's really good.
It's really good. Well,
really good.
To debate on that, I mean, at the very first part, not so, but when the updates came, I mean, it was just amazing.
One more thing, if I may add, this is the biggest secret. Let me show you the microphone. There you go. It's always with me. Because many videos that I see around, they have a bad audio, especially when you're outside.
True.
You see, so I'm always bringing my microphone with me all the time. So you can pull out my phone and make a video, but don't forget about the audio. Audio is so important because people maybe, as we said before, the first 5 or 6 seconds are essential in any content. If the audio is bad, people are going to skip it.
For sure, for sure. Another secret right there. It's just in his breast pocket, isn't it?
It's there.
It's right there.
The magic
just right.
pocket.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you. Moving on to the third question. How about for high budget video marketing? So for instance, up to a budget of $1 million, but I think the perspective is even more than that. Like what would constitute high value production and how would you go about it?
Right, so of course, if you have $1 million, right, so I'm sure there'll be a celebrity in place who will have his own arrogance and would want a team. We just did a shoot a couple of weeks back with an A-lister. So there's one quick thing which I think a lot of companies forget. They put, so for example, if you have $1 million, out of which majority will go in production, which shouldn't be the case, right? Otherwise, you should have a split of 90% of the budget should go in media spends, and the 10% should only go in the production. A lot of companies make that mistake where, they make a great-ass video and they don't know what to do with it because they don't have media budgets anymore, right? So that is something which shouldn't be the case. We always have to figure that out.
Certainly. The delivery is very important.
Yeah.
Nahid?
And it should be treated as a funnel. Like when we have big budget, it doesn't mean like we are going to create one video. So we can think about a series of videos, and sorry, I forgot your name. Gaurav, sorry. So as Gaurav mentioned, like 10% budget should be on the production cost, and rest of the 90% is the marketing cost, the video ads and all those things. So yeah, this can be splitted. Think about a funnel. As we have budget, that means we also need more return from that investment. So we need to be very serious and we need to put lots of concentration on the scripting part, because that is not like $0 budget. Okay, I didn't invest much and less return is okay. But at this case, we need to be very focused on creating the script. It's not only about that, wow, I really like that video, but I forget that which brand it was for. Because I have seen so many videos where it was great. I can still recall that video, but I can't recall, okay, which brand actually created this content. So this also happens sometimes when we actually create lots of emotional content. So that can be also need to keep in mind, creating a series of videos as a funnel and promoting them one after one.
True. I mean, we also have a database we basically can pull from. It's basically sometimes stock, our own version of stock. So we could, in Pixels and Metrics, sometimes we can just pull from there, not necessarily for just one brand, but for several others. That's one way some people are able to save, but also maintain that high value. Matteo, anything to add?
It's fantastic to be with you guys, because we didn't know each other before this event.
Yes.
And many people, we think that in our country or in our industry, it's different. Everybody said, oh, but it's in your industry, it's different. In my industry, it's another story. It's all the same. Because when you were talking, you were reading my mind. When he said 10% on production and 90% on the rest, it's true. That's what I had in my mind. So many companies spend so much money in production. I'm going to get 5 video makers, 2,000 video editors, create this massive videos or maybe they create 100 videos, and then what's the point if nobody watched them? So when we scaled our YouTube ads and we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, we had only 4 videos. 4 videos. We generated millions with 4 videos only. But those 4 videos were studied, tested, we've been optimizing them.
Yes.
And we made them better, maybe cutting some moments that were not needed,
here and there,
and targeting the right audience, and then that's when you make the money.
True. And adding on to everyone's thoughts, I actually have a client all the way based in Australia. I'm not sure if he's watching right now because it's a 7-hour difference, so I think it's nighttime over there. And usually in Australia, when anything past 5, it's basically, there's no work. Everyone's so relaxed. And he runs a location management company. And in fact, they were the ones who helped produce the movie Extraction. By show of hands, who in the audience is familiar with Chris Hemsworth's Extraction? Oh, that's more than yesterday. I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, so when I was getting insights from him, because he not only does things for Netflix or in the locality of Australia, he also does video ads for Mercedes, all these luxury brands, Toyota sometimes, all these other car brands. And when I was asking his opinion on how does it work for super high value production for marketing, he told me $1 million USD, Wilson, that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing in that industry, simply because maybe if you're going to shoot 3 locations, the rough estimate is for each day you will be running around 100,000 USD just for all the people, the food, the catering, the grips, the cameras, and everything such as those. And after that budget, there's post-production. So post-production is all the ones who are editing the video, all giving it lighting, the proper audio and all that. And then, as rightly mentioned by our panel, you really have to think about the delivery, because even if, let's say, you make a 30-second ad with a budget of maybe $500,000 USD in Australia, when you are going to showcase that to the television or to any major event, it's gonna be the millions, and that's just showing it. That doesn't count for the production of it. So, as rightly said, people really need to take into account how the delivery would be. And that's the beauty of the internet now, because we can live stream the event. We can do so many things online right now that not many traditional things may be necessary. Unless you're something as big as the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl to show a 30-second ad costs millions and millions of dollars. And yeah, moving from there, I think that's quite a bit of secrets from us for all these production from low budget to high budget. What would be the industry, do you think? What was the difference 5 years ago to today? Like video marketing in general. Would you like to start, Barb?
So I think I think since the past few years, there's been a lot of content creators or influencers who have started making videos for brands at a very low cost. It's very organic, sort of a video works better than a thing which is shot in a studio. I think that's a very large change which I've seen in the industry. Yeah.
Heath, anything to add?
Yeah, so from my end, what I have seen, or I would like to mention, is that people now don't love that much to watch longer length videos. They want to get they want to get all the messages in like quickest time. So when we are actually producing videos, if you can keep the length short, that is actually going as a good return. Another thing, like when we are talking about video marketing, so there could be two different parts. One is that creating videos, what I'm going to use as an ad on different platforms. Other thing is that creating videos which will give me like, organic views and organic sale. So for the videos which we are going to use for the advertisement, for them maybe 3 or 4 videos is good enough, like if they are winning campaigns. So we need to be very aggressive on that. Like if that video ads is performing well, we can't like, that if we have a $1 million budget and we are thinking like, okay, we'll run this amount for next 1 year or next 2 years, that is actually not going to work. We need to be very aggressive for next 1 quarter or maximum 2 quarters to make sure that whenever people are, definitely whenever our target customer, not random people, are like visiting any video platform, it could be YouTube, it could be Instagram, it could be TikTok or Facebook, they are watching my ads. So if you can be that aggressive, then we will actually get the return because my brand name will be in their brain and their subconscious mind will actually refer our brand whenever he or she is in buying mood. For the other parts of videos, consistency will play the role. So we can decide the number like once in a week or twice in a week, and we just need to make sure that we are consistent enough to give reason to our possible subscriber or visitors to visit our page or channel to get new content.
Certainly, certainly. I mean, consistency is key, especially when it comes to branding. You really have to be on point with that. I mean, for YouTube Shorts became such a big thing now. I mean, 5 years ago, YouTube was already massive, but YouTube Shorts seems to be a really good place for higher conversions, higher impressions, at least from our perspective as well. How about you, Mateo? I know you have a massive YouTube channel.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And we also go very aggressive, very aggressive. And in my opinion, what's happening now compared to 5 years ago is that now we have all these influencers and some people who try to be influencers, but still they're making damage because they create confusion. So in any industry now, there are hundreds of people creating content. So the viewer, how can they find out if you're serious or not? So that's why maybe they need to view more stuff. So what we do, we try to catch their attention with shorter videos, even 15 seconds, maybe with little tips, good ideas, good stuff, and then we retarget them with the 4, 5, 6, 7 different videos. And then they're like, okay, these guys are serious. I've seen enough. Now I'm going to search them on YouTube. And now they see the 1 hour video, 2 hours video, maybe they see a webinar, but only after we build the trust. And we do it with retargeting. We retarget a lot. Like, I know some marketers that spend maybe only 20-30% of their budget on retargeting, but on video ads, we spend 50% on retargeting. Half of our budget goes on retargeting because we know it's big.
Yeah.
And we also build, now the secret, I believe, is creating super fans for your brand.
Oh, for
Super
sure.
fans. The super fans are the ones that take the car and drive 2, 3, 4, 5 hours just to see you or to buy from your store, you know. This is the type of fan that we need to build, and everything in our market has to be with that kind of focus.
Yes, and they basically market for you as well. They
They are the best. They're the best.
Yeah,
So you
the
don't
very
need to pay many influencers when you have super fans spreading
Yeah,
the voice.
exactly, exactly. I mean, that's the beauty of the internet. You never know who you might meet. I mean, even face to face, meeting you guys in this conference was like, wow, there are some really great people out there too.
Yeah, so again, one quick hack since you mentioned super fans. So what we did was we asked, instead of the influencers, we asked the customers for their testimonies, all right, and again for a sunglass brand. And all the videos went viral. So out of, I think, 10 of them, 7 definitely went viral. They all gave a very strong ROI. So you should use super fans in referral and videos and testimonies, etc. So just make a great use of them. Get your LTVs high.
Yeah.
So I think
Build a community.
Build a community.
Yeah, as rightly said by other speakers as well in the previous days. So what do you think of, again, for the entire panel, since we're just 4, what do you think would be the future of video marketing in the next 5 years or so? Gaurav, you'd like to start?
Sure. So I think somewhere in 2016, we had 360-degree videos, which I could see around on Facebook and many other places, but now it's just died down. So predicting the future is accurately is fairly difficult. But I was just reading in the Gartner hype cycle, and interactive videos is now coming. I mean, it could scale very well. So you will have a lot of shoppable, interactive videos. That technology is going to be a lot cheaper now, I think in the next few years. So commercially, a lot of people would sort of start using it. So I think that's in the next 5 years. I think that's going to be a fairly the core in marketing.
Certainly.
Don't see too much of AI. Typically, would always be that targeting focused. I'm not sure how it will help in the video development.
Yes.
Yeah.
But since it's still in its infancy, I mean, technology moves so fast. I'm pretty sure within 6 months we'll be like, okay, so what's new in AI? Do we need to use it in our video marketing? Do we need to use it in all our branding or anything? I mean, that's the beauty of the industry we're in. I mean, I'm someone who easily gets bored, and it works that I work in this industry because everything moves so fast. You have to just catch up each time. Nahid, anything to add?
Yeah, so I can say video is the future. Like I can see many of you are actually capturing videos. This event is already showing live on the YouTube channel. So the Marketing 2.0's YouTube channel. So in terms of marketing, video is actually going to take the majority share. Even if we think about today, the world's second search engine is YouTube. So first Google, then YouTube. And people are actually searching more on YouTube to know about any specific brands or specific products, how it looks. Even at this morning, I ordered something from Amazon. And I was a little bit confused with some of the product, and I went to YouTube and tried to watch some review there, so I can actually get better idea about that product. So YouTube is, I'll not say YouTube, entire video marketing is going to take a big role of the success of any marketing campaigns.
True, true. Has to be a holistic strategy. Matteo, I see you're itching to say
I see
something.
many people talking about the metaverse, and I've been into the metaverse, spending more than 24 hours one day just to see how it is. And you know, there's always this fear of missing out because we see technology going fast and we always feel we are behind, right? Do you feel like that a little bit? Yeah? But what I'm telling you is this. When TikTok came and went big in Italy, big, huge, I realized, oh, I'm not on TikTok, so I'm missing a lot of sales, a lot of people. And then I realized most of my audience is still on Facebook because there are people in their 50s, in their 40s, in their 50s. Most entrepreneurs, business owners, they are in their 40s, 50s, so they're not on TikTok. So don't feel like you are behind. Just try to see where your audience really is. Because maybe it's on YouTube and you're thinking about TikTok, but they're not there. So try to focus on the platforms that really are good for your audience and try to go big on those. And don't think about, because when I went to the metaverse, I'm there and I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna find so many customers and business owners. And I met a lot of kids in their 15 years old, 16, so they're not going to be my customers.
Certainly.
So don't think about how to make videos in the metaverse and everything. Just think where you can make money now and go big on that.
Definitely, definitely. But that's also where the beauty lies in. I mean, there could be a 14-year-old CEO. I mean, that's a possibility these days because of how big every industry on this planet, not just marketing, but every industry in this planet has changed so dramatically over the years that a 14-year-old can be a CEO of $1 million company, and you might have to market to them in different ways. I mean, your original target market might be on Facebook, because in the Philippines, Facebook is by far still the biggest thing in the platforms. TikTok is mainly for the short videos and all that. But even there, I believe, from our current research, most of our decision makers when it comes to clients, it really is still on Facebook or LinkedIn. Yeah. So before we go to the final bonus question, are there any questions from the audience, of course? Could anyone hand her a mic, please?
Hi, it was a beautiful panel and lots of inputs. I actually have two questions. One is, so I understand that YouTube, if you're creating a video, is YouTube the most common sense place to first put it, or should we put it on this other social media platforms? I understand it's going to be where your audience is and stuff like that, but if you're, I think search-wise, YouTube would assumingly be the better one to be looked out for. But is there a difference if I multi-stream a recorded video to all the channels like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Insta, I don't know if it does it on Insta, and YouTube together? Do you lose visibility if it's not posted first on a certain place? Or sometimes on YouTube we have two channels, one for the company and one for your own. Should I first be putting it on my company YouTube, or should I first put it on my own, or does it make a difference, or how do I do that? So that's the first question.
Anyone from the panel?
Okay, so it can be done in two ways. One is that what we do in YouTube, we go there and search for any specific topics. So if the video is covering that topics, then definitely YouTube is going to give the maximum ROI. On other platform like Instagram or TikTok, we actually don't go and search there. We just random browse those platforms and we watch those videos which grab our attention. So there is a term, we call it content repurposing. So when we are producing content, we will try to get the maximum from it. So we can have a longer version of that video, we can edit it for a shorter version of that video, or we can split the longer version video into 5 different, like if I talk about 5 ways to do that. So I can create 5 small videos to use on Instagram and on TikTok, on some other platforms. So that is how it works. Another thing I would like to mention, even any specific platform doesn't have my target customer right now, but I should also register there and make sure that I got that URL with my brand name. Because maybe, for example, my business, I don't have any audience on TikTok. But I tried to make sure that I kept that URL, kept that username, so no one else can take that. And if in future I see many of my target customer are now actively using TikTok, so I will have that bandwidth to make sure that I'm getting the advantage. So I keep posting videos on there. I know I'm not going to get any return from that. So I don't create any video by focusing on that platform. But I use other videos which I created for other platform, and I use those videos to that platform to get advantage in future. So this is way it can be done. Your company and personal YouTube channel, it can depend on your strategy. Because if you are uploading that video on your personal channel, when you will upload that on your company channel, that will be treated as a duplicate video. So if you want to create very informal videos, then personal channel might be the good options. If it is very formal, because in company channel, definitely we need to maintain some rules and regulation, or it needs to be more formal. So it depends on your strategy, but both can be done.
So I do not put the same video on both at all, otherwise it's duplicate.
You can, but I will suggest not to do that because as it is a search engine, so they have different factors to focus to make sure that which video is going to get rank. So if you're keeping both video, one video in two channel, so your video is going to compete with another one. So if you can slightly modify it through some content repurposing techniques, then it will work very fine.
So my second question was, sometimes we do Zoom meetings, and they are live streamed on Facebook. And unfortunately, all pervert stuff comes in, and there are people who come into the room and show all nudity and stuff like that. Is there a way should we just ignore Facebook Live completely to stream a Zoom webinar or something? Or is there a way to control that pervert stuff? You know what I'm talking about? I mean, do you all know? Because
when you live stream, when you are in Zoom and you're streaming on Facebook, right?
When I'm on Zoom, I stream through a multi-streaming thing which goes on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube.
You need to have a moderator on those platforms.
Yeah, so LinkedIn and YouTube has no issue, but anytime I do live streaming of Zoom on a Facebook, I get all dirty stuff coming in.
Yes, you need somebody there to moderate that.
Yeah, but then you cannot block anyone out, and when they take over, they just take over.
No, if they are administrator in the page and they go from desktop during the live, they can delete the comments. Obviously, if it's a lot of stuff, it's complicated.
Is it the comment or the other participant in Zoom platform?
They come into the Zoom, and then they take over your screen share.
Okay, so in that case, I will suggest to try any webinar tools. So in webinar tools, any other participant, if they join, their mic and video will be auto, they can't use their mic and videos. So you will not face these issues. So you can try Zoho meeting. They have a webinar facility. Zoom also have that. And there are some other specific GoToMeeting or a webinar jam. So there are so many webinar related tools are there. You can try that.
And since this is a more technical discussion, I think we can take this offline because I think we're just about on time. So thank you everyone for the day. That was quite the insight. So for those of you on the live stream or for those of you just tuned in, if you want to rewatch the secrets, you can just play back the video on YouTube. Okay.
Thank you so much to Wilson and our panelists. Thank you so much. I keep forgetting my clicker. Right then, our next segment is a speaker section on the topic of the future of blockchain and digital assets in emerging markets. Digital assets and blockchain technology have come a long way from being on the fringes to having a considerable presence in developed economies. As these technologies and assets spread across geographies and industries, what shape will they take in the emerging markets? Highlighting the increasing global interest in both both of these areas. Our speakers are going to dissect this subject for us through this session. Please welcome up to the stage Edwin Alonso Castro, who is the founder and CEO of Next Reality.
Buenas tardes. Hello, everybody. So today we're going to be talking about blockchain, digital assets, and emerging markets. We are basically building a technology that a lot of marketers are going to be able, or everyone that markets is going to be able to use this system. Think of it as the next Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, it's a whole new system because there's like a lot of money being missed and left on the table. We're talking about billions of dollars. Ever since COVID has progressed, I'm pretty sure, can I get a raise of hands if COVID even affected your business? Yes. So yeah. And about that, it's actually changed the way we do business in many aspects. We're talking about just in the UAE alone, retail economy, they were at a climb, and now all of a sudden we're going down. So, and we're talking about billions of dollars in the market just right here alone. We're talking about millions, okay? So what's happening is everyone's not even going to retail stores. So what does it matter if you're advertising or marketing on the side of a bus or if you're advertising on any tangible products, right? So now that everything is digital. Like for example, Noon, I'm actually staying across the way from the Burj, and I was curious about this mall. I was like, how was it that they stayed open for so long? And they had to do a lot of e-commerce. They had to change their platform just to keep those 1,300 retail stores open. They had to move to e-commerce, right? And we're talking about, this is 2017, right before the pandemic. It was supposed to be like a world-type mall, and so they had that issue going on. They weren't ready for it. Nonetheless, they adapted. We're talking about 7 years of advancement in technology was compressed into about 6 months. Here are some statistics how bad retail stores are doing and how they're still lagging behind because of blockchain. They haven't implemented the blockchain tech yet. I mean, a lot of people hear about it, but they don't quite frankly understand it. So we're here to help that. Nonetheless, we're going to continue looking at a lot of these issues that are happening. So a lot of the stores, not only in UAE, but also across the world, have been getting a lot of closing, a lot of shutdowns, whether they're clothing stores, supply stores, consumer electronics. So that kind of leaves that old business model a way to either revamp or do something new. And that, of course, we'll be talking about that as well. We're talking about Alibaba, Amazon. These businesses, they've made billions of dollars. There is a situation with them, even if they're as competitive as they are and as high grossing as they are. You got to imagine how much marketing dollars we're missing, correct? So if we could get 1%, just 1% as a whole in a market cap out of 74.1, that's a lot of cake to go around. So we're going to look at new technologies that are actually helping us to get a piece of that pie now that we're evolving from the 2.0 to the 3.0. There's a big gap. There's a huge gap in the things where these markets are actually taking a hit, and we've been able to pinpoint where that's been. A lot of that has been in the return sectors. Imagine there was if you guys, anyone here could actually join a business that can help capture the flaws in their system Just in 2020, it was at 2020, $428 billion in merchandise return. That means the companies are losing money because of the logistics, production, everything in between, okay? Now, depending on what company you're working with, who your clients are, whether they're vehicle, retail, real estate, that takes a big toll. Now, here in 2022, that is taking even a bigger hit. Or is it a big hit or a big opportunity? Well, we're about to find out. So, as far as the returns, they keep just climbing and climbing as more people jump into the e-commerce and they do business online. With that being said, that is not only affecting the retail as far as clothing, it's not only affecting the trending matters, it's not only affecting a lot of the real estate, but it's basically affected everything, especially the vehicles. Now, I don't know when was the last time anyone went to a dealership and tried to purchase a vehicle, right? But nobody likes that hassle. Everyone is trying to do something new. Nobody even wants to go to the dealership. More than likely, you're going to see it online, and you're going to try to get the most out of it. But you could only do so much out of a two-dimensional picture or website. So here we're talking about in the billions. And from 2010 to 2019, there has been, we're talking about in global car sales in the millions, okay? But these are billions of dollar loss. Now, we could see how 2019 and 2020, they lost almost 20 million, they stopped manufacturing 20 million vehicles. Where did all those dollars go? Where does all this money go? And 2021, they're not doing so well either. Now, what does that mean for people that market? Okay? So if they're not making any money, who are they advertising to? Now, I'm here to try to make that connection because I'm developing, we're going to be developing a new platform where it's going to be so much easier for us to connect with the people, connect with businesses, and have it, and to see what's next. Next Reality, we are the solution. Next Reality, I'm the CEO and founder, Edwin Castro of Next Reality. We are a meta commerce solution platform. My team, Sunny Sue, he's worked with a bunch of companies, from Fortune 500 companies. Has gotten a lot of exposure on Forbes magazine. His partner Steven and Chief Operating Officer Maleka. So what we do is basically we are able to create these selling points or these rooms, this unlimited real estate for people to have their either offerings, their products or services in a unified virtual space. Now, we don't have to waste any more product. Like, for example, with all these chairs, say a company wanted all these chairs, and they need 100 of them. For whatever reason, they ordered them online, they didn't like them, now we had to return them. They returned them, the company lost money, the client's unhappy. There's so many pros and so many cons to that. So what happens is in a unified virtual space or in the meta commerce on the Next Reality platform, you're actually able to see it, interact with it, change the color, and get it tailored however you would like. And there's a little explainer video so you guys could kind of get a clue of how it's going. The video? Okay. Well, regardless, got to keep it moving. Okay. 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 No problem. So at the end of the day, this was a talk, right? Where we at basically in I did another keynote for the production on mobility, right? Because just the way that we're able to touch every sector of the market, doesn't matter if it's transportation, doesn't matter if it's retail, doesn't matter if it's fashion, doesn't matter if it's real estate, we are able to hone in on those on all of those products. And this was actually in 1900, where people they weren't really hip to the cars. I mean, they had one car or one horse, and the rest on Easter Day parade, and it was all horses. Nobody believed that the market would change so quickly, so drastically, where they would be implying new technologies. But I'm here to tell you that it's happened before, and it's getting ready to happen again.